So the daily routine post-transplant really consists of a very simple routine. First of all, get as much sleep as possible. The next thing is eat as much as possible, but eating a particular diet that really suits your dietary needs post-transplant. Then there is take your medications, and there's exercise. So the sleeping part, I think, is more of a challenge for most of the people I've spoken to and myself than I expected. The challenge is really centered around a couple things. The most obvious is you've got a very large incision and a significant amount of pain that makes it difficult to sleep on your side. So if you've been a side sleeper, you're probably not going to be a side sleeper post-transplant for some time. Therefore, it means your stomach, which is not an option, or your back. What that really comes down to is your back. And if you've never been a back sleeper, trying to become a back sleeper is a hard thing. I've got through it, but not easily. And that's basically been the experience of the other people I've spoken to. Now, I did have some success initially right after the operation, side sleeping, but on higher levels of pain medicine and with a lot of pillows. So I think you'll have to experiment with what works best for you. Side sleeping can be a real challenge. If you can try to get used to back sleeping before the operation, it will save you a lot of grief post-transplant. Then you'll also have to think about the sleeping aids. One thing I mentioned about sleeping aids is generally you're discouraged from taking them and taking too much pain medicine because the objective is to get deep natural breathing, and sleeping aids or too much medicine lead to shallow breathing, which isn't good for your recovery. So it's about the balance, of course, but it's not as simple as loading up on pain medicine and sleeping aids and you can plow your way through it. You really got to reach that right balance and expect that people attending to you will be part of that, where it'll be the minimum level of sleeping aids that you need and the minimum level of pain meds that you need to be okay, not necessarily oblivious to the pain, just to where you can manage through the pain. That's one thing I wasn't expecting. So just expect that post-transplant, especially for the first week, you're likely to be sleep deprived, and that will be one of the challenges that you just have to kind of work through and try to experiment with different things. Find things that work for you. Experiment with pillows and positioning, earplugs, what times of day work for you. Can you get intervals of 3 hours at a shot, or do you need to try to take it all at night? And what works is going to be very much unique to each person, but just something to think about, knowing your own experience before the transplant. The one thing you can do is if you can get used to back sleeping, it will help you out a lot.